Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 at 11.
A mother says a man was hiding in the bushes talking to her children through a fence in her backyard. We hear from that mother tonight.
A man goes to court after leading police on a multi-county chase and an SUV stolen from the fire department. We will tell you what he said in court tonight. Good evening, I'm Carolyn Murray.
And I'm Brendan Clark. We begin the night talking about the forecast heading into Tuesday.
That's right, and it is one that has changed very quickly throughout this Monday. Let's get straight to the Lowcountry's Chief Meteorologist, Rob Fowler. Hey, Rob, what are we looking for tomorrow?
Well, more changes on the way. Today, 69. It really feels pretty good right now. 59 degrees is the current temperature. Looking live from our camera right here on our Channel 2 roof in Mount Pleasant. Looking back towards the Double Diamonds, but I would say the afternoon temperatures tomorrow will be much cooler than they are right now. 57 in Somerville, 59 in Walterboro, still 61 in North Charleston, 60 as we head down towards the peninsula, and 55 in Kingstree. We do see a few spritzes of rain moving right across the area, strong upper level flow. There's actually a cold front now just offshore, and the cooler weather is lagging behind. Eventually it will get in here, and once it does, you'll notice the change. So we'll look at the temperature progression going to 57 at midnight, and that may actually be our official high for the day right after midnight. Meanwhile, we drop into the upper 40s out the door at 6 a.m. and only warming to the low 50s by lunchtime with a high temperature about 54, 55 by the afternoon. But just as quickly as we cool down, we warm up again. I'll show you those numbers in that 10-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Rob, thank you. And a quick reminder, even when you are moving around town, you can still have the forecast with you. Just download our Storm Team 2 app. You can find it by searching WCBD in your app store. Take a look at the images behind us right now. That multi-county chase with a stolen Charleston Fire Department. That vehicle, it ended with the man being arrested. He is in jail tonight.
The chase started in Goose Creek. The suspect would not pull over for police. Several agencies gave chase. It eventually ended with stop sticks being deployed on King near Mount Pleasant Street. The man accused is 33-year-old David Lathan. Appeared in a Berkeley County court tonight where a judge set bond for a number of charges, receiving stolen goods and failure to stop. News 2's Natalie Price was there and has more.
Why are you here? Because I borrowed a James Allen fire truck and drove it to Goose Creek.
Accused of stealing a City of Charleston Fire Department vehicle, David Lathan appeared before a Berkeley County judge Monday evening. The affidavit says the Ford F-250 was tracked into Goose Creek, where Goose Creek police attempted to stop the vehicle. A pursuit began by the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, eventually ending in downtown Charleston. But why did he do it? Here's what he told the judge.
In order to make people realize that there's spiritual things going on in this world, and people fail to realize it. And God doesn't want that anymore.
He also said he asked the vehicle itself for permission to drive it.
I'm not joking. God gave me the ability to speak to things. I asked the vehicle. There's also things that are in that fire department that aren't in physical form, and I asked those things, sir. I'm not crazy. I'm 100% sane.
Lathan's mother was in the courtroom asking for her son to go home with her.
And that's my son. I'm very proud of him. He's smart. He's got a lot of sense about his law.
However, that's not what happened, and part of the reason is his criminal history.
Just recently had an assault and battery charge, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Against someone that's a devil worshiper, yes, sir.
The judge set a $50,000 surety bond for both charges, something Lathan was not happy about.
All right, $100,000 bond, right?
Let's go.
You will be held accountable for that.
Love you, son.
You hear me, sir?
Love you, son.
Apparently you served the devil.
Lathan's next court appearance is scheduled for April 12th. In the studio tonight, Natalie Price, Count on 2.
The fire department has responded to several questions about what exactly happened, and the chief addressed that question this afternoon. Says the keys were probably left in that SUV, which was stolen, but they're looking into exactly where those keys were at the time. Because of response times, it's not uncommon for keys to be left in or around emergency vehicles. And today, we heard from the fire chief about the way they balance this fast reaction to emergencies and security.
Department's reviewing what actually happened yesterday, and that will include whether the keys were left in the vehicle. If so, of course, we are also going to review all the security procedures we have for apparatus and for the stations and make the appropriate changes.
The chief also said their goal is to always be better every day.
A Somerville mother told News 2 that over the past weekend, while she was inside their home, a man hid in the bushes near her house and then tried to speak with her children. She said it happened on Sunday evening while the children were playing in the family's backyard. She said once she realized what was happening, she made the children come inside and her husband called police. The man said that he was looking for a friend. A short time after that, the man was taken into custody by police. The mother says it was upsetting and she hopes that parents will learn from what happened to her family and speak with their children about speaking to strangers.
This, I feel like, is any mother or parent's worst fear. You know, we constantly talk to our children about strangers, and you never talk to strangers. You don't trust anybody other than your family and people that we know. And the sad part is I had that conversation 3 hours prior to that, I would say, about talking about strangers, and the fact that my kids still didn't listen. So to any parent out there, my advice would be talk to your kids over and over and over.
Somerville police have not told us if the man is facing any charges.
Want you to take a look at the scene behind me. One person is dead after an accident involving a car and an 18-wheeler on a bridge in Anderson County happened this afternoon. It was on Highway 24 around 4:30. This is on the double bridges which cross over Lake Hartwell. The 18-wheeler carrying chickens was hanging off the bridge. A car that was crashed can also be seen on the bridge, as well as a life flight helicopter. No word yet on what caused this accident.
State lawmakers, especially those who represent poorer school districts, feel as if Dominion pulled a bait and switch on their constituents. As we reported a year ago, Dominion Energy, which bought out SC&G's parent company SCANA, proposed giving the average customer a $1,000 refund check if lawmakers facilitated it and regulators approved the merger. But during negotiations, they decided on lower rates over a period of 20 years by roughly $20 per month, instead of that one-time cash payment of $1,000. The problem is those lower bills might not last. Dominion can ask for rate increases in 2021. And speaking of Dominion Energy, they will be in town answering questions related to the SCANA merger and customer benefits. They are providing $4.5 billion to SC&G electric customers. The meet and greet is a week from today, next Monday, from 4 until 7 at the schoolhouse at 720 Magnolia Road, West Ashley.
A new bill aims to restore customer trust in electric companies. This comes after board members at a Calhoun County co-op used their position to profit financially. Representative Russell Ott's bill would put more oversight on the 20 electric co-ops in the state. Last year, the Tri-County Electric Co-op Board was helping themselves and their family in several different ways, and during a special meeting, the entire board was fired. This bill would allow the state to audit co-ops, submit potential problems to the Public Service Commission, and require board member salary and benefits posted on the website. We spoke with Berkeley Electric Co-ops in Moncks Corner. Their concern is putting the state in charge of another governing body.
You know, we actually have that in all different types of areas. I mean, whether it's school boards, whether it's county councils, whether it's town councils, you know, we mandate that there are transparency measures in place for all of those types of entities.
Ott said he believes his bill could be debated on the floor of the House as early as next week.
Continuing coverage tonight, your commute may take a little longer as more railroad crossings close for work throughout the city of North Charleston. The affected roads are listed on your screen right now: Remount Road, Aviation Avenue, Jet Park Road, Midland Park Road, and Costa Road. Major crossings such as Ashley Phosphate and Latson Road will not be closed.
A veteran in the Lowcountry reunited with a treasure he didn't even know was lost, and it's all thanks to an employee at Goodwill. War medals, pictures, and a Gazette article from 1988 about the first firefighter chaplain in Beaufort. It was in a military shadow box found by Goodwill employee Jessica Shepard. And that article was written by her own mother. She and her mother called the fire department, where they found Anthony Kolar, who accidentally donated the shadow box with his and his father's military memorabilia.
My daughter had put together a shadow box with some of our military stuff. And it was on the wall for years, and I took it off. I was going to paint the wall, laid it somewhere. Somebody came along and, you know, somehow it got in the bin that we donated to Goodwill.
It kind of hit me in the heart. and we can't send this off. We can't sell it. That's crazy.
Kolar credits a higher power for orchestrating his shadow box's journey.
Next on News 2.
The flu is more likely to make a woman who is pregnant extremely sick. And now a study shows how getting the flu while pregnant might impact the newborn baby.
And robocalls are on the rise. A look at what the FCC is hoping to do about them.
And here's our fishing forecast coming up for you Tuesday. Looking at the tides, especially that high tide at 7:31. That's going to cause some shallow coastal flooding. Low tide at 1:51 in the afternoon. Northeast winds about 15 to 20 knots with a 30% chance. We'll see more rain in the area. And you can always get our Storm Team 2 weather forecast on Star 99.7. You're watching News 2 at 11.
As we head to break, a look at what's trending on our Count on 2 app. Enough fentanyl to kill more than 1,000 people. It was found in a Florida high school. Deputies searching for a suspect after a chase and crash in Berkeley County. Plus, are you a fan of the Golden Girls? If so, a Golden Girl cruise will set sail in 2020.
Stay in the know on the go with the News 2 app, sponsored by Jones Ford.
You know about robocalls. We hear complaints all the time from viewers about them. The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission says he gets those calls as well, so he feels our frustration. In a News 2 Consumer Update, Joanne Merrigan shares information on an extensive report released by the FCC promising several new enforcement efforts.
Caller ID doesn't really tell you it's an harassing phone call, but it often feels that way.
One day this week, I think it was Monday, I had 34 calls.
Remember Brenda Krause? She told us about getting dozens of calls every day.
The phone drives us crazy.
And it's stories like hers the FCC says it's listening to. One of the actions the agency is taking is to crack down on overseas companies that spoof phone numbers.
Now they're getting really smart. They're using 912, and I think, okay, maybe that's somebody we know, and I just don't know the number, so I will answer. And it starts in.
Spoofing the number is tricking people like Brenda into thinking it's a local call, but it never is. The FCC is promising to levy more fines and larger fines against companies that try to fool you with this kind of call.
Invalid number, unknown name.
It's also promising relief for consumers with what's known as caller ID authentication. That's software that can be used by phone carriers to basically screen calls and detect robocalls, and in turn keep them from reaching you. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai says consumers are sick and tired of these unwanted robocalls. He says caller ID authentication will be a significant step toward ending the scourge of spoofed robocalls. And he says if it appears major carriers won't meet the deadline to get this technology done this year, the FCC will have to consider regulatory intervention.
And the FCC says it's tried everything, including hefty fines against companies, including those that violate the Do Not Call list. Up to $200 million in fines were levied just last year, but now the FCC is promising to do more to help consumers. If you are a frequent flyer, it will be easier this week for you to sign up for a TSA PreCheck. It's happening at the AAA off Dorchester Road in Somerville. If you want to register for the program, you will need your driver's license and birth certificate or your passport. The cost is $85. You can register until Friday. We have more information online. Our website is counton2.com.
There is more news about flu and its effect on pregnant women. A recent study looks at how getting the flu while pregnant might impact a newborn baby. Tonight we hear from a doctor who says having the flu during pregnancy can be dangerous for both the mother and the newborn.
For women who develop, who get the flu and then who experience a severe illness, which again, pregnant women are more likely to do, in those women, outcomes for the baby are actually worse than for those women who, who got the flu but didn't get really sick or who didn't get the flu.
This study looks at data on more than 3,000 pregnant women, some who had influenza while pregnant and some who did not. Researchers found that women who became sick with H1N1 influenza and were admitted to intensive care were more likely to deliver infants that were preterm, low weight, and scored lower on birth assessments than pregnant moms who never had the flu. Doctors say the results of the study point to the importance of getting pregnant women vaccinated against flu. They say that one of the things that happens during pregnancy is the mother's immune system is suppressed, making it more likely for her to become sick from something common like the flu. Doctors say this study adds to previous research that shows just how dangerous flu can be for the mother and the baby and why the flu vaccine is so important during pregnancy.
This just goes to show that not only can help prevent bad outcomes for the mom, but it also can prevent adverse outcomes for the baby, and it should, make pregnant women more comfortable with taking the vaccine.
Now, doctors say that some women are apprehensive about getting the flu vaccine over concerns the vaccine may have an adverse effect on the baby. But they say there is no evidence that shows the flu vaccine can actually hurt a newborn.
A lot of calls into the newsroom this afternoon, a loud boom and explosion, one that actually people say shook their houses.
Yeah, shook their houses. They felt it, they heard it, and Rob, now we're finding out more about what it was, and as you said earlier, what it wasn't.
Yeah, it looks like it was not an earthquake, a sonic boom. Dr. Steve Joe May over at the College of Charleston says he looked at the readings and more likely a sonic boom. That's what it looked like on the register there. So. Okay. We'll go with sonic boom, but I know a lot of folks felt it and heard it, no doubt about it. So a little excitement today, maybe some excitement tomorrow in terms of some cooler temperatures, depending on which side of the fence you're on. But a lot of folks still like it cool, some want it warmer. Right now, 60 degrees, Shem Creek camera. Got a few scattered showers in the area. We did reach 69 today, so with that, the red square goes in for the 18th. That's an above normal day, so the monthly average just under 58 degrees, or about 7 degrees above normal. And if we ended the month today, that would slide in 5th place in terms of our warmest Februaries on record. So certainly we're setting a pace. 59 in Somerville, 59 in Walterboro, 55 for Kingstree over to Georgetown, down to Mount Pleasant at 59. We'll be looking at this number here, 61. That's where we are in North Charleston. That's where we keep our official records. And I think our 3-degree guarantee probably will be a midnight high temperature of about 60 degrees or so. As we see what's going to happen by midnight, most of us falling back into the 50s as the cooler weather on those northerly winds starting to push on in. Then we walk out the door tomorrow morning. This is a 7 a.m. look, and with the northeast wind, probably 15 to 20 miles an hour, you're looking at temperatures in the 40s, only warming up into the upper 40s to low 50s by lunchtime. And I would say the afternoon temperature will only be in the mid 50s, so a lot cooler than it was today. But watch what happens as we move on into Wednesday. We'll see another push of some warmer air that will be moving in from the ocean on southerly winds as a warm front moves in. So I would say by Wednesday afternoon, we're right back into the 60s. So we're cool one day, warm, and then cool again before we see a nice warm up heading this way for the weekend. Also, behind the cold front, we've got a little wave of rain moving in the upper level flow. So we got to deal with that as well. Just a few light showers going on across the Tri-County area, probably just enough to get the windshields wet. So allow some extra driving time on the way to work and school tomorrow morning because of that. Cold front just down to our south. High pressure is pulling in the cool weather. You'll certainly feel that through the afternoon. So forecast then for the nighttime hours, those showers continuing. 45 inland, 50 along the beaches. Here comes the forecast then for tomorrow. 54 again, the afternoon temperature, but we're going to 3-degree guarantee, about 60 for tomorrow morning, early in the morning. Few showers on Wednesday and 69, right back up to 79 on Thursday. So here comes that warm-up promise for the upcoming weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe another temperature close to 80 by the end of the weekend on Sunday. Here's that beach forecast, 54, chilly, breezy at the beach for tomorrow with showers likely, and 66 on Wednesday. And our 3-degree guarantee off to a great start here for the brand new week. 68 the forecast, 69 the actual high. That means another $100 from Glass Pro goes to Water Mission, and that is $1,200. And that, my friends, is money in the bank.
Typical February. Just never
There
know
we
what
go.
you're going to get.
You're going to get a little bit of everything.
All right, for sure. Thanks, Rob.
Good stuff. All right, let's find out what's happening in sports with Logan Reaver. Hey, Logan.
Hey, yeah, Def, Texas, and Lady Bishop's playoff W's, all guaranteed parts of life. Highlights coming on their latest blowout next.
This is the Palmetto Ford Truck World Sports Desk. Come in. You'll get the best total deal on the new Ford F-150 and Super Duty.
The Lady Bishops basketball team puts on runs like the Golden State Warriors. Once you're in the middle of one, there's no guarantee you'll get out of it if you're the opposition. Well, tonight Swansea found themselves in the middle of the storm. Well, Kelly Drummond and Bishop England hosting the lower state semifinal in the 3A bracket. You want to talk about those deadly runs? They wasted no time. Right off the tip, Josie Dennis hits the ATM and grabs some cash. Then, forcing the Lady Tiger turnover, Dennis going to give it up to J.O. Williams, who stops at the red light, then hits green. The hesitation on the fake and followed by the finish. They started with a 10-0 run right out of the gate. On this occasion, they really would work it around, finishing with Drummond a 30-point win, 57-27. They play Dillon for the 3A lower state title on Saturday at 2. As I was walking into Goose Creek tonight, a guy in the parking lot told me that I better put on the news that Goose Creek was going to win so bad that they would basically have a third-round bye. Well, contrary to usually listening to random people in the parking lot, he was actually right. The Gators led by 19 at halftime and proceed to keep the rout going. Sweet feed from Anaya Oliver, 59-36. And their opponent in the 5A lower state title will not be James Island as they fell to Lexington 65-50. So it'll be Lexington and Goose Creek on Saturday at 5 p.m. We move along to CSU hoops, and this right here is really rare and frankly, it's really cool. Bucks guard Christian Keeling is the leading scorer of the team, but about a month ago, his starting role was demoted to the bench. Now we know ego is a huge aspect of basketball. It's what also gives some guys their edge. Well, for him, he did not complain once, according to Coach Radebaugh, and worked his way back into now the starting lineup again. Listen to his thoughts, though, on all of it.
It's a team sport. I think that's what people fail to realize. One person can't win or lose games. So, Coach he made an adjustment, and he thinks he's the head of the team, and he does the best for the team. So, in my position, I just do my role, regardless, come off the bench, being a walk-on or being a starter or playing 40 minutes or playing 1 minute. I'm just doing my job and do the best I could do in the minutes I'm playing, and I'm grateful. As long as we get the win, who cares who played most or who cares who scored the most points?
What a humble young man right there. Well, that's your look at sports. I'm Logan Reaver.
Before we leave you, we want you to meet Lynn Haven, Florida's newest officer. This is K-9 cop Mugshot, also known as Muggsy. He's only been on the force for 3 days, but he's already captured the hearts of everyone in the department.
Yeah, the job is public relations, going out into the community, interacting mostly with children and at schools. He's also, as you can see, a really great therapy dog. Muggsy was found after Hurricane Michael wandering around, but now has a permanent home with the police department. I had a Muggsy once.
Did you? I knew a Muggsy dog once. My dad's friend had a Muggsy.
Yeah, I had a little French bulldog named Muggsy. He probably was arrested. He was a bad dog.
He was on the opposite end of the law.
Absolutely.
Can I say happy gotcha day to Sugar, our grandoodle?
Absolutely.
A year ago today, we got her.
Happy gotcha day.
Yeah,
all
happy
right.
gotcha day.
That's it for us. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night.